Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Brand Dialogues, where every fortnight we interview a remarkable guest from an extraordinary brand to give you an exclusive close up view of brands that you trust, desire, and admire. This episode is especially significant because TRA is launching its next edition of TRA's Most Trusted Brands 2025 in just a week. Usually, we do two studies a year, one is for brand trust and the other for brand desire. This fortnight, we have for you a whiskey brand that's made it big in a whiskey drinking country. I bring to you Royal Stag, a brand which was introduced in 1995 and shows a complete change of the Indian mindset, as that is the time when Indian grain was used for the very first time to make whiskey. In 2001, global spirits leader Pernod Ricard acquired Royal Stag, implementing strategic initiatives that has propelled it to the forefront of Indian whiskey industry. I am excited to be joined today by Joydeep Basuroy, Group Marketing Head, Pernod Ricard, and we will ask him how this brand broke all records in gaining consumers to make Royal Stag stay as the top brand in India. He will provide us with an insider's perspective on Royal Stag's journey, its innovative approaches, and the reasons behind its enduring appeal. Let's explore how Royal Stag gained leadership in a highly competitive market and how does it draw new customers in a category that is legendary for brand loyalty. Let's dive into the deep side of Royal Stag. Hi Joydeep. It's great to be in Pernod Ricard's office in Gurgaon. I'm here largely to talk about Royal Stag, one of the very prominent whiskies in a whiskey drinking country. I believe that India consumes nearly half of all the whiskey produced in the world, which is a magnificent fact. And of that, I think Royal Stag is amongst the top in India. How did that happen? What did you do in order for that to happen?
First, thanks for coming down. And when we talk about the Royal Stag, we need to go back a little bit to the history. 30 years back in around 1995, at that time, all the whiskey was molasses based. And so we got a license based on that, okay, you can do a whiskey, but it need to be a grain based. So what we have done is that we have converted this disadvantage into an advantage. And that's how this brand is always been, we refer this brand as a lighthouse brand.
Lighthouse brand.
So because it's always changed the norms.
Right. Of the entire whiskey industry?
In the whiskey industry. So it started with a grain whiskey. And how it changed the norm. So in the world, actually, all the whiskeys are made out of grain, whereas at that time India was made out of molasses.
Largely because of shortage of grain.
So we came out with a great campaign called No Artificial Flavor, and that's how the best of the whiskeys are being made. It's an iconic campaign, and so today, if we think at the price points where we operate, all the whiskeys are now in grain-based whiskey.
Right. So you actually created a category.
So basically, transformed the category. Secondly, around 2001 to, and there was a ban on the advertisement.
Yes.
So the product advertisement happened, and so we found out there was actually India has the three passion points. One is cricket, movies, and music. The good part is that still we use these as a passion point, and this passion point continues to be a dominant.
Correct.
So we were the first to also to get all the international cricketers to endorse the brand.
All right.
At that time, obviously, we were also thinking of a brand extensions, and so we cannot advertise a product, but we can advertise the extensions. So we use starting from Ricky Ponting, Flaming, you name any of the cricketers, everybody, even like a Pakistani great like a Wasim Akram, and endorsed the brand, and we came with the campaign truly world class.
Hmm.
So So at that time, truly world class. It's also a transformations how to build on the emotional connect on the land. So from based on the human insight of that, I am the creator of the
My destiny.
and based on that, we came with a campaign. Make it large. Make it large is nothing. It comes from a very simple insight. Is that it's all about success. Is that vicious cycle of that you dream of something and you achieve that. So we created that, and mm, so on this brand we were very consistent. So we kept this the
Make it larger.
the make it large for almost 14-15 years. We continued with that, and so everybody endorsed endorsed the brand, and the people from Shahrukh, Ranveer, Saif.
So you went across again the same three
Now, so India. And similarly, in terms of the cricketers, so all the cricketers.
So what did you do for music? Bollywood is that?
So basically,
Is that?
yeah. So we used to have. So for in our case, the music becomes also one of the element for an experiential. So that's how we used to connect with the audience.
Right. I believe you had a series of cassettes as well, if I remember right. Royal Stag cassettes.
So basically, at that time. Then, apart from that, in terms of the cricket, for example, we changed the game. We entered into a 5-year deal with an ICC. So we thought that okay, change the the landscape, and that's how people always. And I try to answer your question. That's how we stayed relevant in the consumer's mind.
I agree, and I'm saying I think it's in your brand DNA in one way to define a way that we will do business and everybody else will follow. It seems to be like that because it was an existing brand, Royal Stag. So I only think of one book that comes to mind, Good to Great. So you've taken a good brand and converted it into great, and that's by ensuring that you don't do what others are doing. And others start looking at you and say that let's do this. So how do you come? One is insights, of course, but how do you think about these new things? Let's break the mold. How do you do that?
So when we were again coming back and everybody, we tried to regroup. We tried to find out one ambition we kept in our mind that this brand should be. It's a leader brand. It also should be a cultural icon. And hence we try to look at or go deeper into the what are the cultures which is emerging. So what we have done last year during the ICC tournament, we have gone. So everybody was doing the things with, and we also have the cricketers like Rohit, Jasprit, so they are endorsing this, but we have gone a step ahead and we have created something called based on AI. So where actually you become the part of the entire this thing. So you scan your face
And become a part of the team.
Part of the actually the ad part of the ad structure. So that's one of the first. So what I mean to say is stay very culturally relevant.
This is technologically relevant. Actually, you've stayed ahead of technology, but culture is slightly different.
And also, I'm just coming, and then apart from that, when we looked at the music genre, because that's one of the genres.
That is culture for sure.
So music genre. So we thought that okay, music is becoming, and then we tried to find out okay, music is how the music is changing. We found out that hip hop is one of the emerging culture which is happening, and then we looked at that. Okay, do a double tap and find out that okay. So something which is a very melody and in hip hop coming together, which is emerging. Then we created an experiential platform which is called a boombox. Yeah. So basically there so artists from the two genres
Hmm.
come together and perform.
And this is a live event?
This is a live event, and also we do and
Recordings.
originals also.
All right, lovely. So this is a great way to recognize what's happening. I wanted to ask you one thing. One important question to say is that in the recent studies of TRA, in the last 2 years, Royal Stag has been the most desired whiskey brand. Now, that's a significant achievement. And it says, and I think in the last 2 years, only your brand comes in, other than the top 1,000, other whiskey brands are beyond 1,000. Desire is a very different aspect. And you mentioned emotional appeal, which is a part of desire. It also has three more, which is aspirational appeal and functional appeal, which is rational appeal, as well as communication appeal. I can sense two things very clearly: emotional and communication. You're completely bang on. But what is the rational appeal for your brand, and what is the aspirational appeal for Royal Stag?
So I one thing is I told about that when any alcohol is consumed, it's a mix of functional and the emotional side. So I told you that how we redefined and created in something called a new lexicon in the
And yes.
apart from that, also a lot of effort has gone to create and give something which is new to the industry also. So always that the pilferage is one of the biggest problems.
Pilferages and bottles getting stolen?
So basically, it's not the right liquid which is getting sold. So that spurious one. So there also what we have done, we bolstered the closure. We created something which is completely an exclusive.
That one way.
So we worked with our suppliers and created something called DTET, is a double tempered evident technology.
So again, the industry must be copying this.
Yeah. So basically,
It's an industry improvement.
so basically, and that's where my starting point was that it's a lighthouse brand. So we do things and we let the people to.
I completely get what you mean by lighthouse now, after you explained everything. So one question I have, last one. So India is a complex regulatory environment for alcohol. It covers state level. I mean, it's a very complex. I don't think there's any other sector that has so much complexities. How does Royal Stag or even Pernod Ricard as a mother brand, how do you navigate this tough environment?
Oh, it is almost like you are operating in so many countries. In India itself. So every country, if every state has their own laws and regulations. And so the biggest example I can give you, so between and everything changes,
including advertising and marketing.
Yes, everything. So there are the states where you can do certain things, you cannot do that, and also the pricing changes.
Right.
So between Goa and Maharashtra, the pricing is almost 4 times.
4 times
between
I was going to say 20%. It's 4.
So basically, that's how it is. It is there. But saying so, that's a challenge, and we always think more a consumer first, and hence we can able to navigate these things. And apart from that, also we looked at, when we were re-looking at the strategy, we looked at that which are the areas from where the growth will come. So hence we looked at how the second layer of the towns, which we call it as the boom towns, which will continue to give a growth.
Right. Absolutely.
Also we looked at the which is more youth hubs. So obviously look at where the concentration of youths are there.
So especially in cities where there are a lot of youth.
Yeah. So exactly. So the youth hubs. So, and that's how even that the challenge for us is also to keep the balance between them. So we create the thrust accordingly based on the segregations we have, and that's how it
continues to grow.
It continues to grow and be relevant to both the consumers.
Absolutely. And the strivers and the thrivers, as I've learned, new terms that I've learned. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much, Joydeep. And I hope this brand is, as prolific and teaching the rest of the brand world what you can do in a tough regulatory environment. Plus, keep adapting, keep learning, keep, kind of bringing in new things so that the entire industry can follow. Thanks, Seep, and lovely having you with us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers. And that brings us to the end of another enlightening conversation with a brand which reminds you often, it's your life, make it large. Many thanks are due to Joydeep Basuroy, Group Marketing Head Pernod Ricard, for sharing his insider view into Royal Stag and how it manages to lead with innovation and quality. If you found this discussion engaging, please like, subscribe, and comment. We bring you exclusive conversations with industry leaders and marketing heads every fortnight. And if you are interested in staying ahead of trends, then stay tuned to this channel as well. Tell us in the comments what other aspects you'd like us to explore with brands, and we'll include them in next episodes. Till then, this is Chandramouli signing off. Stay inspired, stay curious.